Hello everyone, I'm Tessellating Hexagons, and this is another part of Touch Detective. We're back where we left off last time. This is the second part of Episode 1, Robbery. And as it turns out, Cromwell only did science with crushed flowers in order to prove that dreams can't be stolen, but as we proved with our stakeout last episode, it can be done and it has happened. Now, Cromwell's telling us now about the ability to dreamwalk, and it seems that the only person who could steal a dream is someone who could enter someone else's dream and take it, which is what's happened with Penelope. And I'm just going to go off on a tangent here and just say Cromwell's moustache. I mean, I have a moustache of my own, but Cromwell's is far superior. I want a moustache that can flap like a pair of wings. In fact, come to think of it, I'll mention that later. Anyway, so one thing we should note, that the butterfly net, and the cookies are something that you don't have to get them when I got them. You don't actually need them until now. And this is the first time we can actually enter the fortune teller's house, and let's just grab the curtains because we're that sort of person. Getting uncomfortably close to the fortune teller, and just get right up in your face and ask about dreamwalking. And it seems kind of a bit stereotypical that, of course, the gypsy woman would know about dreamwalking, but I don't know. Fifth dimension? What are you talking about, fifth dimension? We live in at least 5 dimensions. You know, space and time and all that. Anyway. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. It happens... It sounds like she's talking a lot of BS, I suppose, but... Well, it doesn't quite work like that in real life. I mean, it is kind of possible to dreamwalk in real life, but I know we don't fully understand it. I'd get into the psychology of it, but this is a game that has anthropomorphic mushrooms as characters. I'm not going to go into the realism of it. Or zombie people, which I promise I'll explain later, but it's around now they recommend that you get the mushroom cookies, because like I said, you don't have to get them when I got them, you can put it off until now, because this is when they're important, and I don't actually remember why I went in there, but I think it was just to demonstrate that you can get the cookies there. Oh yes. Needs to... I forgot to ask her for the full details of how to dreamwalk, because you have to have her explain it to you, because I mean, I knew it already, but obviously Mackenzie doesn't. So we need hot minced mushrooms and herbal paper, and need to set it on fire. So yet again, we have a 3-piece recipe to work with, except this time we won't actually be eating any of them. Cromwell, cake. It's my cake. Rude. But yes, it's like Stag with Hit already. We can't light fires because Mackenzie's just a kid. But hey, let's just randomly buy a bear, shall we? It'll be important in the next chapter anyway. Yay, foresight. Oh, and it appears to have come in a paper bag. Now, could this possibly be the herbal paper we're looking for? I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, it's a paper bag, and why is there a spike on that bear? What kind of design is that? Well, it's nice smelling paper anyway. It looks like it has a smiley face on it. So we'll put the cookies in the bag, hope for the best. But how are we going to light it up? Well, it is something to note. Penelope lives in a block of flats, but they don't have their own kitchen in each room. So it's fair to assume that they have a communal one. And what do they have in kitchens? A microwave, of course. And if you check it normally, then she'll point out it dings when it's done. Right there. And how novel is that? Anyway, so that's that's probably as good as it's going to get. We put some mushroom cookies in a paper bag and microwaved it. Now, if that doesn't smack of Touch Detective style humour / logic / whatever, then what does? And let's just take a face full of mushroom fumes. Totally not an innuendo, I swear. Suddenly, it's made everything green! Or perhaps this is just an incredibly lucid dream. Yes, Mackenzie, your drug-taking session went immensely well. Don't try this at home, kids. Apparently it worked on Fungi as well. Come to think of it, why didn't we just put him in the bag and that would be animal cruelty somehow, I'm sure. Anyway, there's no one here, which is a bit odd. We'll check out the flats. There's no one here either. No? Well then, this stakeout fell rather flat, wouldn't you say? I mean, There's no one here either. Where is everyone? This one's closed and there's no one guarding the door of the fortune tellers. This one's closed and locked. Is there anyone here at all? Or did we just jump over to a parallel universe where everyone was wiped out by the zombie apocalypse? Apparently can't check out the skating rink in the dream world. Anyway, heading back to here. And... oh, there is someone here after all. Oh, good. Oh. Well. Forever alone. You could try going to the park, because that's where Penelope's dreams always take place, but nope, she's not here. She's been thoroughly kidnapped, and the paper bag, that anthropomorphic paper bag, has just disappeared off the face of the earth, and there's no one here to help us catch them. Oh, no! But it was all a dream. Penelope's fine, surely. Right? Please, Mackenzie, tell me she's okay. Well, we don't know yet. We're going to have to go and check, but... as far as the first attempt goes, it wasn't too bad, right? Well, look on the bright side, he did dreamwalk. Anyway, the next day, and we'll just share our success with Cromwell and his amazing moustache. We could be closer, to be honest, but no witnesses. I've just spent the entire segment talking about how there's nobody there. Which is odd, because when people dream, they appear in the dream world, don't they? Oh? Of course. Of course, there's yet more stereotypes of the youth, but... well, I mean, it's never actually said in series how old they're supposed to be, so we can assume that they go to bed around 10 and everyone else parties until like 3 in the morning or something. I don't know, they're zombie people. What does it matter? But I think first port of call, unless I'm quite mistaken, would be to, yeah, we should check on Penelope, because, I mean, bad things went down last night. Either that or we were just tripping balls. But yeah, that aside, it is going rather well. Yeah. Yeah, Penelope, you're going to need to stay up late, and yeah, I didn't think so. She's simply not capable of it. I mean, no, she just can't do it. And then she stares at the clock and goes even crazier. I mean, is that even possible? Penelope even crazier than she already is? To be fair, I kind of get the same way. When you stare at a clock, you start going a bit mad. So, what can we do? It seems like the situation is a bit hopeless. Well, last resort, we could ask Chloe for one of her amazing ideas. But we could be all sassy and say, well, how's yours going? But no. I think her advice is better than nothing. Well, it's not, but... yeah, this does kind of sound a bit crazy to her, and it will require a black screen that tells us that we're explaining it to her rather than just using words. Oh, and now, zombie guy over there's obsession with health has spread over into her because, spoilers, him on the left is a health nut. I was saying on about the Sandman. I've only ever seen one portrayal of the Sandman, and that was in the Powerpuff Girls. And I'm not ashamed to admit, that was a brilliant program when it was on. Uh-oh. Chloe's had an idea. No, go away, leave me alone. We don't want to hear it. We have better ideas by ourselves. Fine. Oh, this is going to be a really choice option, isn't it? Go on, get to the point, Chloe. What? That's actually really clever. That is genius. Go on. Too good to be true. She had a brilliant idea and then she blew it. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it, Chloe? On the plus side, if you recall, that butterfly we caught earlier had a really fine powder on it. Well, we'll just shove it in people's faces and see how they like it. Plan of action? Get them bleary-eyed with all that powder and tell them they need to sleep, and they'll fall for it. Because zombies are really good at sleeping. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, him on the right there, he doesn't accept the butterfly because he doesn't count as a person or something, I don't know. And the point is, we need several people in... Effectively, they're going to dream about being where they are now. You see, he doesn't want it. because he's only sometimes there, whereas her on the left is always there. And we need to make people bleary-eyed so they'd go to sleep earlier. So we have a representative in each area, kind of like Eurovision, but not. To inadvertently keep a close eye on that area so they can tell us if Paper Bag Man has gone past. So we have Beatrice, we have the health nut guy, we have the woman at the shopping plaza, and who better to guard the office than Cromwell and his amazing moustache. But yeah, I have something to say about his moustache that I will bring up in Chapter 3. Yeah, take that, Cromwell. I like to imagine that that's representative of Mackenzie just smushing the butterfly in their face, like, look at this butterfly, it's so cute! Or whatever. Anyway, she'll just sort of break the fourth wall there as confirmation that we've got everyone that's necessary, and poke! I forgot to get Nox's mouth earlier, because that doll is called Nox, and it is an item for the touch list, and I thought maybe that chair might be as well, but no, I think that's in the next game. Either that or I already got it, I don't remember. Anyway, we'll take another round of mushroom that's like, surely it's not still hot, but it would be a chore to go back to the apartments every time we want to heat it up and go to the Dreamworld. And by the way, if you try to smell the cookies when you're not in Mackenzie's room, she won't let you because she'll just say, not here. Oh, music. Hello, Cromwell, and your fine moustache. Nothing going on though. But I love this music. I'm just gonna be quiet for a moment. Oh, and then it goes because stuff's happening. Well, screw you two, Paper Bag, you're ruining the ambience. Beatrice, you're supposed to have been watching. Yeah, well done. You've done your job very well. I'd applaud sarcastically, but I don't know if the microphone will pick that up very well. See, I told you it would be worthwhile having someone watching over here. Just occurred to me, that's a really weird complexion. You know, the fact that she's a zombie aside. Like, pink, but I don't know, she looks kind of like a Battenberg. Now, this is why I pointed out the shop earlier. It's closed and locked. It's not locked?! Oh, there's something going on here. Oh, could that be Daisy singing? Goodness. Never even showed her the butterfly. Let's just bust right in there and... Oh. There's not even anyone in there. This must be the Dreamworld then. Oh. We found some... Oh. They're clothes. They don't really look like it, but they belong to Penelope, at any rate. And suddenly, boom, we're back in Mackenzie's room as if nothing even happened. Because that's kind of how dreams work. You know, like when you have those not quite asleep dreams where you're falling and then you wake up suddenly and you wonder why you haven't made an impact because you clearly just landed on the bed from outer space or something. Or maybe that's just me. Anyway, Dream Thief ran away again. But we're making progress, surely. And it should be noted that those 2 times and the next time, because we're going to the Dreamworld again, are the only times the story way can actually go into the Dreamworld, because any other time she'll just say no, in the same way that if you try to go to the Dreamworld anywhere other than Mackenzie's room. Oh dear. Penelope's in trouble again. But as if by magic she's just distracted and the troubles have just sort of floated away. Joining her sanity in non-existence. Oh, no, she's in trouble, and someone stole the purse. Oh! This sounds an awful lot like what was happening in our dream, does it not? Apparently Daisy's being rather loud. That's kind of our really blatant clue to say, go and check out Daisy's room, why aren't you doing this yet? So, we'll see what's going on here. I mean, we need to question her, but she's already very suspicious of us, and we're very suspicious of her. But I want to ask her some things, but she's not going to let us in. Bit rude. I mean, I could call her a name, but I'm too polite to that. Well, maybe we'll just try the passive-aggressive approach and ask her to hang out, because we're totally one of the cool kids. We can get coffee. I mean, dumb Starbucks is still topical, but no, she's not going to go for it, so... She does seem to be hiding something, which means she's immensely suspicious. She's still our prime suspect, although haven't forgotten about Dover. But even though she won't let us into her room in the real world, we could always just dreamwalk and sort of infiltrate that way. But, you know... Don't know if we're actually going to find anything there or not. One thing that's just occurred to me right now, I don't think you can get anything for the touch list in the dream world because A, it's a dream, B, you wouldn't be able to feel it anyway because dreams, you can only perceive things you've perceived in real life, even if it is remix, which is why you can hear people saying things you can't understand in your dreams. It's like a remix of the syllables, and why you can't die in dreams because your body wakes up because it doesn't know what dying feels like. And oh, the door's locked. I've gone off on a tangent. We're trying to get into Daisy's room, but it's locked, and we can't just phase through the door even though it's a dream. But we'll go out onto the roof because it's open. And what even is that? I've never even worked out what that thing is at the end. It looked like a coffin. Anyway, oh look at this! We've found a thing. It's an air pump. I don't even. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, we'll confront Beatrice about it because it's an air pump. Like, nobody here has a bike though. Yeah, what is it used for then? I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, I must have misread that, but no. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, I might have to censor that in post, but I'm probably not going to. Otherwise you won't know what I'm reacting to. But it seems that, thankfully, that air pump is broken, but I do hope this is just a dream and that that's not a real thing. Spoilers, it's a real thing. But we'll give it to Cromwell because he's here and his fabulous moustache can probably fix it because he can science. He doesn't even need crushed flowers or not key lime pie to do it this time. And there's that weird noise again. Seriously, but there's no explanation for it, but that's just the generic science is happening noise. Let's just grab the air pump, and in case we didn't talk to Beatrice already, that's how we know that it belongs to her. But it doesn't really come as a surprise because we found it on the roof of the flats. And I'm not going to call it by that name because that seems like a really Americanized name, and the first 6 letters are... Anyway, we'll give these to Beatrice and see if it actually works, and I hope that she's not getting some sort of strange thrill out of this. Ooh. Why? Oh, but despite all that, she's still not going to give us the key, and why should she? But we'll just send Funky in to get it for us, and it's not like she can go in and stop him. And we've got a key. I'm not sure how you're supposed to work that out, like in the game, but well, you've got me. You've got me to do it for you. And Daisy's room, just as crazy as it is in real life. We found some clothes, but are they Penelope's? There's no name on them, so well, they can't be Daisy's because Daisy's just too... well, she's not frilly enough, to be frank. But something's up. What did you see, Beatrice? What did you see? A paper bag. Well, you are so useful. And really. Anyway, stuff's going down in there. Oh. Fairly sure I heard a whip just then. Well, first order of business, close the door so he can't get out. And Beatrice and us, we can stop him from getting out. And so he just makes a run for it. Music gets intense. Cornered him on the roof. You're not getting away. Paper bag with a silly face. Where'd you get a bag that size anyway? Yeah, we've got bloated Beatrice on our side. And Funky doing a weird stutter walk just there. Well, there's no need for that. That escalated very quickly. But Mackenzie doesn't have the confidence to jump. So we'll just shove this bear right into Beatrice. No! And so much dream. Much crazy. Oh wow. And then that very cartoony thing of you're about to get hit by something falling from above and you just run left and right and don't get out of the way and you've been crushed by Beatrice, and somehow we could see that from up here, even though you're looking north and the shopping plaza's south from here. Or maybe that's west, I don't know. It's difficult to tell. Anyway, we've got the paper bag, let's take the paper bag off and... What?! I don't even know. I've had enough weirdness going on as it is, and... wow. Plot twist of the century. It wasn't Daisy, it wasn't Dover, it was Antoinette, unless that was a really elaborate disguise, but no, it wasn't. It was just a paper bag. But why the pastry chef? That's the best sentence in the world. I want to have that on a t-shirt. Just, but why the pastry chef? Oh, along with other phrases like, but did you die? Or, bagels are just acoustic donuts. Speaking of donuts... Yeah, we're just gonna confront you straight up and Dover's not even here. She doesn't even deny it. She just wants to make delicious cakes. Oh. Sweet dream cake. Dream theft. Now, why didn't we see that sooner? You can tell I'm smiling while I'm saying this. But yes, crystallized dream, like, we're just not going to question it at this point. What has been seen with Beatrice and the air pump cannot be unseen, so we'll just make sparkly icing using a dream. That's a thing. Yeah, Penelope's dreams don't fade away because she just lives in Cloud Cuckoo Land. I'm sure I said that last episode as well. But anyway, back to the case at hand. Antoinette, you've been a dick and you've made her depressed. Anyone who makes Penelope depressed is just an awful person. Ah, and that explains the surplus of mushroom cookies. And the funny thing is, if she'd just worked out a sensible way of getting to Dreamwalk, like if she'd just done what we'd done, we wouldn't be able to Dreamwalk ourselves because there wouldn't be a surplus of cookies for us to take a free sample of and then microwave. So, I only just realised this. Antoinette kind of brought in her own demise here. Well, on the plus side, with at the cost of Sweet Dream Cake, which is the greatest cake in the universe, we've protected Penelope's dreams. And we have with us a slightly different slice of cake because it's got what appear to be blackberries in them. Or, not blackberries, like black currants or grapes or something. We'll give it to Penelope as a peace offering and... yeah. Not really much to say at this point. We've solved the case, which turns out it was a case after all. Yeah, we've solved the case. Be happy. Dance party. But yeah, Antoinette, this is the first time her name's actually used in the game, so up until now she's just the pastry chef. And I'll just look at the calendar on the left. I know I'm getting really distracted here. But the calendar on the left, is that meant to be a 6 or a G? Is it G month or Rokugatsu or what? Anyway. Yeah, so Penelope's glad that she's not having a dream stolen anymore, but she's realised before anyone else that no stolen dreams means no sweet dream cake. So, it's the greatest cake in the world, and it can't happen now because... And this is just a really bad situation to be in. Either you're stuck being really depressed but have amazing cake, or everything's fine but you don't have amazing cake. That's like a would you push the button situation right there. Well, I suppose that's a fair compromise. Well, even fairer if if it's to our benefit. Funny how Mackenzie's laughing animation is the same as her eating animation. Anyway, this is a bit that happens at the end of every chapter of the game. A brief summary of what happened and an epilogue in the form of her writing up in her investigation report, which we will then submit to the Great Detective Society so she can become a fully fledged detective and rival the likes of Thomas the Smell Detective, but we'll get into him later. Ooh, worded that badly. Anyway, so yeah, it must be strange to eat someone's dream, but if it's delicious, then who gives a flying F? Speaking of F, Chloe, she got into trouble for having her homework done, and Mackenzie's too honest to force it upon Penelope, even though she solved the case. And like I said before, Daisy and Penelope, and indeed Daisy and Mackenzie, are good friends now, thanks to us sorting things out about the Morse code dispute, which actually sounds like a historical event. But anyway, the case has been solved. And unless quite mistaken, yep, that's it for this episode, so abrupt ending for the win, and see you next time.